guys. Thanks. Andy,
when your tie's not right, I have like 10 people standing off camera going to me, get his tie. Tell him to fix his tie.
Like you're supposed to run out there and do it at that moment?
No, like when you come over here and the band is playing as they do, and, you know, I'm supposed to go, honey, your tie.
Thanks, Granny.
And you got some cookie crumbs.
You know, everyone's talking about this Clinton scandal. We have our own scandal going on right here.
It's quite a scandal.
People like it when you tell them about backstage life on most TV shows.
Or so we love to think.
Or so we love to think. They probably hate it.
Right, yeah.
We had an interesting thing happen today. Andy and I have dressing rooms right here that are our own private little dressing rooms, and they, you know, come with a key, and you can you go in there and hang out before the show, and you and I have...
It's your private space.
Exactly. You know? Well, today, I show up in the morning, and we had some stuff to do, and I go into my dressing room, and I open it up, and last night it was really clean. I open up the door, coffee cups everywhere, magazines, kind of food on the floor, stuff strewn all around. It looked like someone had had a huge party in my dressing room, and I was like, that's weird, you know. Then I go over and I notice, I'm thinking, who would do that, you know? And you have your own dressing room, so you're not going to crash into mine and have a party. And I go over and...
You never know.
Yeah, that's right. And I go over and I look at my life cycle, and there's a little note attached to it. And there's this note on it, and I start looking at the note, and it just says, Dear Conan, great dressing room. How many times have I told you to hang up your clothes? I did 30 minutes on your life cycle. And then it says, hope you don't mind, stay cool, Mary Lou Retton. Now, imagine what would happen to you if you come home, you're on vacation or something, and the whole place is just sort of torn apart, and there's a note that says, stop by, had a party, Mary Lou Retton. You'd be freaked out, right?
It's happened.
So, it's happened to you, really?
Well, it wasn't really Mary Lou Retton.
No.
It was Olga Corbett.
Yeah. Who often uses the moniker Mary Lou Retton. Well, so anyway, and I was thinking, wow, that's so weird. And it turns out, I guess, that she was on some news show across the hall.
For the local affiliate.
Yeah, and someone said, hey, you can use Conan's dressing room, and they, like, pried it open with a crowbar or something, and let her in there, and she and all her entourage, because she has an entourage of other gymnasts, and they're all hanging out there having a party, and I think, okay, forget it, no big deal. When at the last second, I noticed something's different about my life cycle. So take a look at this. This is just... I went backstage. Can we roll this, Liz? This is just the... You'll see now. This is my dressing room right here. This is about 2 hours ago. I haven't touched a thing, okay? And you notice anything different about my life cycle, Andy? She has moved the seat up to... Look at this. She moved it up to the Mary Lou Retton setting. And it actually says...
Mary Lou Retton.
There are all these different settings. Wilt Chamberlain, you know, and then the very bottom one, Mary Lou Retton. Then Mason Reese, of course.
A couple of weekends ago, our makeup artist came down. She was working on SNL upstairs.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live.
She came down to our makeup room to get something, and it was like on a Saturday morning.
Right.
And the security guard was leaving my dressing room, and she thought she smelled Listerine, and he just went, you know, hello, see you later. She went in and, like, the sink was wet, and my toothbrush was wet, and the toothpaste was out.
A strange person?
Like a security guard had
used your toothbrush?
Yeah, just like, well, I think I'll go freshen up in Richter's room. You know? Got a little bad morning breath, you know.
This shows you the level of respect we have here at NBC. You know, I've got to dump this excess manure somewhere. Use Richter or O'Brien's room. Swang. Well, anyway, we're not bitter or anything. What do we care? In fact, we're so not bitter about it, I thought we'd start off the show tonight by playing a fun little game.
I like games.
You like games and puzzles.
I love them.
You like brain teasers. We're going to play a little something called patterns, folks. Let me explain. I'm going to show a series of photographs or pictures or drawings that have a progressive pattern. And my pal Andy here, you try and guess. You be the audience surrogate. You try and find out what is the pattern here.
All right.
We'll start off slow. You'll get what I'm talking about. You can play this at home. It's fun for kids. It's fun for old people alike. For example, we'll start with this one here.
No one in between.
No one in between. If you're a young child or really old, you'll love it.
Yeah.
Everyone else, frankly, thinks it sucks. Okay. Here we go. We start off with excessive barking, drooling on the carpet, growling, and then end on humping a stranger's leg. Got it, Andy?
No, I don't.
Okay, these are increasingly likely to be bad habits that Buddy, the White House dog, picks up from his master. You see, and it starts, there's always a pattern. Try this next one. The beheading of Sir Thomas More, decline as a naval power, the loss of the American colonies, and mad cow disease. That's right. These are things that England is increasingly more proud of than the Spice Girls. Remember, the very young and the very old enjoy this. Here we go. We start off with seeing Niagara Falls, strolling through Paris, kissing in a Venetian gondola, and visiting Santa Claus. That's right, these are more and more likely ways Woody Allen and Sun Yi spent their honeymoon.
He's old and she's young.
He's old, she's young, which means they enjoy this bit. Here we go. Watch this one carefully. It's got some writing in it. 20 seconds till liftoff. Oxygen levels are good. I can see the Great Wall, and I need changing. You got it?
Nope.
Okay, these things are increasingly likely to be said in space by John Glenn. Who, may I point out, is a great American hero. There we go.
We never got the love we needed. Anyone who did, we have to tear them down.
Yeah.
Go on with your little game.
Here we go. Start off with a Supreme Court justice, a Georgetown cheerleader, a young congressional aide, and a Dutch elm. That's right, these are more and more likely to be involved in an Al Gore sex scandal. You like that one? It cheered you up? Yeah. Okay. This one's a little tricky. We start off with no freedom of speech, persecution of religious leaders, lack of democracy, and can't get free drinks at blackjack tables no matter how much dough you drop. That's right, these are increasingly likely to be the Pope's main complaints about Cuba. Who, may I point out, is a great hero to many people around the world.
Get him!
These are the people we decided to get today. Yeah. John Glenn, beloved astronaut, and the Pope. Conduit to God.
It's about time.
All right, here we go. A footstool, a drink coaster, a television remote, an airline barf bag. That's right. These are things you're more and more likely to use during the Kathy Lee Gifford Christmas special. Wait a minute. People seem to have less respect for her than the Pope.
Seems like we dropped our lure right in the middle of the main stream there.
Here we go. Monty Python, Spider-Man, baseball statistics, Star Trek. You got it, Andy?
Mm-mm.
All right, there is no pattern. We just wanted to see if we could make all the nerds in the world salivate at the same time. I think
it... It's not funny.
Oh, Andy. And then finally we end up with, this is difficult, watch carefully, a chariot, a warship, a huge wooden horse, and Bill Clinton. That's right, folks. They're more and more likely to carry Trojans. So we found out something very important. John Glenn and Pope, respected. Kathy Lee Gifford and President, have your fun. All right. And Mary Lou Retton. We're going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen, and we're excited because when we come back, Michael Keaton is going to join us. We got an amazing show tonight. Stick around.